Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to do this video because I wanted to do it yesterday, but I couldn't. Like I was doing a task yesterday and it literally took all night to do it. So now I can finally do this video. So can you imagine I had an idea to do this video and it's just been heavy on my mind and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. So now I'm available. I can do it. I've got free time. I can talk to you guys. So, as you can see from the title, I cannot remember what the title is, but I know that it's about identifying, controlling people amongst different cultures or interracial couples in the use of food. So, the subject is going to be food, right? How you can identify controlling people through the use of food. Let's dish the tea, guys. Let's dish the tea. I'm so excited to do this topic. Obviously, I won't be able to cover all aspects of like controlling when it comes to food, but I'm going to tell you what I know when it comes to like food and how people use their, how you can see who is controlling in this aspect, right? So, ignore my sniffles, guys. We do have cold weather here in the UK. It was supposed to be getting warmer, but it's done the opposite. It's almost like it's gone back to winter weather. But yeah, so as I was saying, um, I won't be able to cover all controlling aspects. Do apologize for any background noise. I won't be able to cover all controlling aspects, but I'm going to try and cover what I tend to know, how you can spot like controlling people through the use of food, because sometimes it's hard to spot who people are when they are controlling. Sometimes it's hard to see it as controlling. You just think that they're being normal. You think that they're just on the same level as you, and you just accept people for who they are. So you can't see that they are controlling, but there are a lot of controlling people out there, and I'm gonna use this topic to help you guys see who those people are, right? I might get interrupted in this video, so I'm gonna try and speed it up. So, where do I begin, right? So I do believe like with different cultures and stuff like that, um, there can be a clash, when you meet people around the world. People have different ideas, different perceptions of people, and I think that controlling can show up in those ways. So I've made notes on this, guys. um this topic doesn't apply to everyone in my life because I like to meet people around the world, and it doesn't apply to every single person that I've met around the world. Like, there are people around the world that allow me to be myself, and you know they're not controlling, but there are some people that do stand out as controlling. And when you look back, when I cover this topic, if you do have similar experiences as I do, you will look back and you will realize that it is controlling. So I'm going to refer to my notes as well. All right. So um I let people I let people be. Sorry, I couldn't read my own notes. So I let people be. Like, I let people be who they are. I'm really sorry about any background noise. Nobody knows I'm recording. So I let people be who they are. I let them, if they don't want to eat certain types of food, I don't force it on them. Like, I love food. Like, I do love trying out different cultures. Um, traditional dishes, but I'm very picky as a person. I don't like to eat something that I don't know if I would like it. I'm very fussy in that sense. Like, I don't just eat anything. I'm scared that I won't like it. I'm not experimental when it comes to food. So I don't like to eat something if I don't like it, because then I feel like if I eat it, I've got to finish eating it even if I don't like it. And I don't want to be gagging in front of someone. I don't want to be like vomiting in front of someone. So that's the reason why I'm so picky, because it's just like a fear of mine. um I believe people have to be comfortable as well. I believe people have to be comfortable. Um, I feel like people should be allowed to eat what they feel like. They shouldn't feel controlled. So where do I begin? Right. So I was talking to a guy a few weeks back. He was working in a clothing store, right? And I was having a chit chat with him. Me and him always tend to have deep convos because I love having deep conversations with people, right? And he was telling me that like he's a young guy, so he's probably like he's early 20s, right? So he was telling me that he wants to start going to the gym and eating healthy, eating the right foods to match with the gym, right? So the conversation that we were talking about made him bring this topic up, because he said that when he goes home, he feels like because the dinners that are being cooked, it doesn't correlate with, the diet that he wants to portray. And he feels like his mother doesn't understand that. Like, she will cook the dinners and she doesn't get that. Um, his mother's Caribbean, so this video is going to be about different cultures, but this is like a Caribbean mother, right? So she's cooked the foods. She's living in the UK, so she's cooked the foods, and she doesn't get why he wants to eat something else other to what she's cooked for him. And I said to him, like, you should be grateful that she's cooking for you. However, you should sit her down and explain that you need to start eating healthy. You need to start eating this way because it needs to correlate with your gym. I even said to him, go to the store right now and buy a bag of lettuce. Like, just, and he laughed at me. And I said, no, seriously, go and do it. Like, just go and buy the veg and be like, here, this is what I want with my dinner. Like, and I explained to him, like, as adults, we should be allowed to choose what we want to eat. If we don't want to eat that food at home, we should have that choice. I feel like you should have a choice of what you want to eat. And this correlates with the restaurant. Like, it correlates with my story with the restaurant. So I've had experience in the past where um if I'm ordering food, I always feel self-conscious when I'm ordering food from the restaurant, guys, because growing up, we didn't go to restaurants. We usually ate at home. So when I go to the restaurant, I'm always like self-conscious about where things are. I'm always like very nervous. I can eat in front of people, but I'm always like self-conscious about where I am, and you know, nervous about what I'm gonna order, nervous about looking stupid. So I remember, like, I was with someone and I was ordering food, and they literally told me to order something else. And I thought to myself, I want to order that. And they were like, no, order something else. That's not a meal. And I remember that it was like, this was a date. So I remember me and him, I would order food. He wanted to eat what I ate. So he wanted to go with whatever option I chose. And then that was his choice. He chose to do that. And then I didn't tell him to do that. He chose to do that. And then when I decided to order pizza, because I have to play it safe with pizza because of allergies, right? And he literally told me to order something different. And I was like, but I like this pizza. And he was like, choose something better. And I just thought to myself, like, I'm allowed to choose what I want. Just because you're paying, it doesn't mean I can't choose um what meal I want. And I wasn't choosing an expensive meal. I was just choosing a meal that I genuinely wanted to eat in that moment. So that's how control shows up. But at the time, even though I thought it was wrong of him to tell me what to eat, I didn't really view it as controlling. Um so people can see things in different ways, but looking back, that is a sense of control. That's him showing his dominance and his controlling at a early stage, to show that if I can get her to eat what I think she should eat, I can control her in other aspects, right? um yeah. Another aspect was, I'm not going to mention who the person was just in case they're watching. And this is someone that I do respect. He's someone very close to me. We do have a good relationship currently at this moment. Like, I don't have a problem with this person, but they're the last person I would think is controlling, right? Um, but I still see them through a good lens, all right? And I'm not just saying this because they may be watching. I'm saying this because it's from the bottom of my heart. Like, I really genuinely get on with this person. But now that I've thought about this topic, looking back, they also did the same, right? So we went to a restaurant, right? We went to a Chinese restaurant. And I I was going through a phase in my life where I wanted to stop eating at restaurants. I wanted to do healthy meals. I wanted to cook my own meals. But of course, if you want to socialize with people, you've got to like go along with their plans. Okay, you don't have to, but I kind of do. Like, if I feel like I have to go along with someone's plans, like I do, you know, because I just have no boundaries sometimes. So they were like, we're meeting here and there, we're going to this restaurant. So I was like, okay, cool. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I don't really want to go to this restaurant. I want to make my own meals. But because I really wanted to hang out and socialize, because socializing is good, right? I went along. So it was like a buffet. And this is so funny. So it was a buffet, right? And I literally I swear, if this person is watching, they will know I'm talking about them because the story is too obvious. But anyway, I picked fries. Like I decided to have fries at a Chinese restaurant, and they laughed at me. They were like, "Out of all the foods to eat in a Chinese restaurant, you pick up fries because picking up fries is so British, right?" And that's something that what they were saying is that's something you can easily eat. In the UK, like you're picking up fries in a Chinese restaurant. But the reason why I did that is because I didn't want to try something else that I didn't like and I found it disgusting. Like, if I'm not familiar with foods, I won't just pick up anything. I'm not experimental like that. And looking back, that is an aspect of control because you're not allowing someone to be themselves. You don't know the reasons why they picked up that type of food, and you're expecting, yeah, you have expectations of them, and some controlling people expect people to be like them. If they see someone doing something different, they will question it and say, well, why are you not doing this? You should be doing the same thing as me. Do you see how control shows up? So, a lot of people don't realize they're being controlled by people. They just think that because they're a loved one or because they're a best friend, they think they're trying to help them in life. But if someone came to me and said they want to try new types of foods, then I can understand someone telling them to be a bit more experimental because you got to help them achieve their goals. But because I never ever stated that and I was playing it safe, I was choosing the safe option. I went with fries. I have to do what makes me feel comfortable. So that's another aspect of how control shows up. So let's go through other points. This is so interesting. It's actually quite funny talking about this as well because um I mean, who sits down and analyzes like how control shows up in food? Only I do. So, um, yeah. So another one was, um, another aspect to look for control is in interracial couples, right? So with interracial couples, there's going to be two or three, more than one types of culture clashing, depending on where you're from, depending on your family background. It's very interesting. It's exciting, right? So, um, where control shows up in this is when your partner expects you to eat what they eat. Do you get what I'm saying? So the types of food that they eat in their culture, they expect you to do the same also. And this doesn't work with me in terms of like different cultures or interracials. It does not work with me because I'm a fussy eater. So with interracial couples, if the partner is controlling, they would try, I don't want to say they try and mold you into their culture because at the same time being a part of someone else's culture is a bonding experience, but foods can be used in that aspect where they expect you to eat what they eat without respecting your boundary. And um I was having an interruption, sorry. So they're not respecting your boundary and they're expecting you to eat what they eat, regardless of your wants and needs. If you want to eat something else, they don't want you to eat something else. They want you to try their foods. Whereas there are people out there that are okay with trying different types of foods in different cultures, but a controlling person will disregard what you like and they expect you to eat that. And I've had experience of that where I had to try different types of foods, and even though I was not really enjoying it or I didn't want to try it, I had a lecture thrown at me. Like I was told that you need to try different foods, you need to stop being disrespectful, and I thought that was rude. So yeah, be cautious of that where your partner is expecting you to adapt to their culture very fast and expecting you to try what they try. They need to respect that there's differences between you and you can't be what they want you to be. We need to accept people for who they are and stop forcing people to, eat the foods that they eat. I don't do that. Like, I don't, my culture background is Jamaican. I don't force people to eat Jamaican food. I don't say, hey, you have to try this. Depend if they want to try it, then that's cool. But I wouldn't force it on someone. I think that's quite controlling. Um, controlling can happen like if you're trying to order foods as well. If you're going, I've had this in the back of my mind where my sister's ordered like food at like KFC or McDonald's and she went for something totally different to what I go for. And in the back of my mind, I thought to myself, why is she ordering that? but I never voiced it because that's controlling. So even though I thought it in my head, I never said it because it's her choice. She can choose what food she wants to choose. And I think sometimes let people be. Don't try and force them to be how you think they should be. Let go of expectations. So my next point, let's have a look. Ah, there's been times where it is healthy where people do accept your food choices. So I've had people that I've accommodated to my needs. They ask me, do you have any allergies? And they've adapted to that. I love that. Like they cooked separate meals just for me, like one separate dish, just so I can be happy, right? Which I appreciate. So not every culture is controlling. You do get some people that are controlling in some cultures, but I've had experience of people around the world where they ask me, what do you like? What do you want to eat? What are you allergic to? And they literally cooked everyone else the same dish and they cook something different for me to keep me happy. And I really appreciate people like that. Let's look at more points. Um, let me see. Yeah, so about the same point as well. Like I had another experience where I flew to another country and they literally scrapped their traditional dish and they got like fries for all of us because they knew that it's more common in the UK for people to eat fries. And I really like that. And they just got chicken, something universal where everyone eats that. So I really respected that. Like that person is a star. Like they bend over backwards to make sure other people are happy. They adapt to cultures. They don't force it on people because they understand, like they could see by my face I'm quite fussy. They could see that I was fussy. If anyone doesn't understand the word fussy, fussy means picky, so they understand that I'm a picky eater, so they adapted to that. Let's see if I've got any other points. um so I went to a restaurant, so the person that was expecting me to try their culture foods and they gave me a lecture. We went to a restaurant, right, of that culture food, and culture food of their culture, their foods, their traditional dish, like a restaurant that serves their traditional dish, right? And I was speaking to like one of their friends, and their friends literally spoke to my soul. I really apologize if this video's all over the place. So they said to me, like, of course, like you're not used to the food, so you have to eat something that you are comfortable with. And I said to them, finally, someone that gets it. When someone's controlling, when somebody actually says something that you resonate with, a total opposite to what they've been trying to force you to do, that person understands you and they speak to your soul. That's when you know you're being controlled, because I just thought, wow, this person is from the same cultural background as them. And even they understand that I can't just eat any foods because I'm not used to it. They actually understood me. And that's maturity. That's a sign that someone is mature, because they understand not everyone is going to like the same things as you do. Everyone's different. And I respect people that can speak their mind and tell you what they really think. They can see that I feel uneasy, so they voice their opinion. I really like that. I respect them for it. Um yeah, so you should be able to order. If you go to a restaurant, you should be able to order what you want to eat. I believe we should feel free to do that. No one should be forcing you to eat what they think you should eat, right? Let's have a look. This is a bit random, but um this is a story from another person, right? They was in a relationship, so they had two kids with this person, and their mother-in-law would cook meals for all of them, right? And send it to them. And it was all in individual containers. And what I found weird was it was all named. I think that's controlling. Like, why would you, if you're gonna cook dinner like for a family, why is it got individual plates, and why are you delivering the food separately and giving names on them? I find that very weird. Usually when people cook like soup or something, it's in a big batch. So why was it individual, and individual plates or whatever container, and with each name on it? So that means each person eats that dish. That just makes me feel like that person is trying to poison someone. I shouldn't laugh at that. That is weird. I don't know why I put that in this video, but that is so weird. If someone is serving out foods Okay, it's different if you're at someone's house and they're serving out individual plates, but if they're sending the food to someone's house and they have names on each plate or container, that is weird. That just screams out poison to me. I don't know why I get that vibe. Okay, so the last example, guys, is control. This is based on my household. So obviously my background's Jamaican, right? And I have a Jamaican stepdad, right? And I find that that has a controlling aspect. So um obviously foods are cooked in my home, and let me just read my notes so I get this right. Not I get it right so I can say it in the right order. Um okay, I know what order I want to say this in. So, like obviously when you live at home, meals are cooked, you kind of eat what your parents make, right? But being an adult, I cook my own meals, right? I like to cook what I want to eat, which is fair. That's normal, right? So because of this aspect and control, right, with foods, um, I hate talking about this. Because of that, I don't get like the freedom to use the kitchen when I want to. Um, so that's a controlling aspect. So if you're not going to eat from me, you can't use the kitchen, that aspect. And also in my household where you've got adult children, I do see a use of control where I get to choose what foods I want to eat because I buy my own food and I cook my own food. But the controlling aspect is when you see that, because I'm not eating what everyone else is eating, then I get punished. And also when you see the adult children eating foods but they don't get a choice. That's when I see control in different cultures. And it's funny that I see this pattern in Caribbean cultures where they're cooking for the adult children, but the adult children don't get a say. I've noticed that pattern. So with the guy that I was talking to, or I mentioned in the beginning of the video, he doesn't get to, choose like what to have for dinner, so he can combine that with the gym when he does start. He has so guys, I got burp. He has to eat what his, Caribbean mother has cooked for him. And in my household with you know, the Caribbean stepfather, um, he will cook like the dinner for like his children and the adult stepchildren, but the adult stepchildren don't really have a voice over what they eat. It's just whatever's cooked, they've got to eat it. And I feel like as an adult, you should have control over that. You should choose what foods that you should eat. If you want to eat healthy, you should have that choice. If you want to eat for a specific diet, because there's so many diets out there. Some people want to change their lifestyles. If you want to cut out sugars, if you want to eat a bit more plain, if you want to cut out meat, if you want to be a vegan, you know, you should have that choice. And I find that when you live in certain households, you can see like the control over, if you don't eat what I eat, you're going to be punished. If you don't eat, if you don't have the choice over what you eat, you see that aspect. And I feel like in life we should let people be. We should let people have a say over what they eat, because when you go to a restaurant, you get to order what meal you want to order. And you do see this control in so many aspects, and so many people controlling people use this to their advantage. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I want people to start looking into their lives. And if you don't have a choice over what you get to eat, start making that choice, because your health is important. If you want to eat more veggies, buy the veggies from the shop and put it on the kitchen counter and say you want this in your food. Obviously with please and thank you. um, but if you are in those situations where you're in a relationship where you can't eat what you want, you have to eat what your partner eats, or you have to eat their traditional dish, or you can't eat what you want because you're living with your parents and you must eat what they cook. Start taking responsibility for your health, start taking responsibility for your life and your choices, and make the food that you want. Because that's what I do now. Like, I will cook what I want to cook and I will eat it. And I feel like moving forwards, if anybody now tries to tell me what to order at a restaurant, I would simply tell them, thank you for your option, but I will go with this one because I want to eat it. So yeah, so be careful of controlling people because they will make you feel so codependent on them that you won't be able to make your own choices and you feel like you can't make that decision without them. And then you'd be scared to order what you want. Why are we living in fear? We should do what we want to do, right, guys? So to summarize this video, start taking control over what you eat. Watch out for controlling people. There's so many. They want you to be like them. That's the whole point of controlling. They want you to eat what they want you to eat, you know. Um, but I find with controlling people, they control because maybe they don't have control over aspects of their life. So just be free, don't let anyone dictate to you. If you do want to try out different foods, that's fine. Then that person, that controlling person will love you. I'm joking. I mean, they can encourage you to be a bit more experimental, but you should have a choice, We are adults. We should have a choice over what we choose, what food we choose to put in our bodies. If we want to eat healthy, we should have that choice. Should be able to cook what we want. If someone is cooking for you, I think it's polite to for them to tell you what they're cooking. And if you do want to eat it, they should say to you, I'm cooking pizza and chips tonight. Or for American people are watching, fries. I'm cooking pizza and fries tonight. Would you like any? It should be a question. They should ask you if you want the food that they're cooking. They shouldn't assume that you're going to eat their food, you know. So be mindful of that, guys. This video is meant to awaken someone and help them to see where in their life someone is trying to control them. And it's important that we become free and we were able to think for ourselves and, make the decisions that we want to make instead of someone making them for us. Because sometimes when controlling people, when they get to control you with that aspect, it will grow in other areas of your life where they just start controlling everything in your life. So be mindful of that, guys. I'm going to leave this video here now. If anybody has any questions or if anybody has any points they'd like to add on to this, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for those that have tuned in. Thank you for the like also. And thank you to those that do watch this video after I posted it. I feel like I need to burp. It's so annoying. Um, so thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care, and I look forward to speaking to you all soon. Bye.